The year is 1952. It is the 5th of December. A cold, unusually still air settles over London, but this is no ordinary fog. It is a thick, greasy mist, yellow and heavy, that carries the acrid smell of rotten eggs and the sharp sting of coal smoke. Listen closely, and you can almost hear the city holding its breath. The familiar rumble of double-decker buses fades into silence, their drivers blinded, unable to see the road just a few feet ahead. London, a city of millions, has been brought to a standstill, shrouded in a fog of its own creation. An invisible weather event, a high-pressure system known as an anticyclone, had descended upon the Thames Valley. This weather pattern acted like a giant lid, trapping a layer of cold, stagnant air close to the ground. Into this motionless bubble the city continued to pump its lifeblood, the smoke from millions of residential coal fires burning day and night against the bitter cold, the dark plumes from factory smokestacks, and the exhaust from a fleet of new diesel buses. The pollutants had nowhere to go. They simply accumulated, mixing with the water vapor in the air to create a lethal acidic cocktail, a true Pea-Souper. The city became a ghost of itself. Policemen, their faces covered by primitive smog masks, stood in the middle of intersections, waving flares to guide traffic that could not see them. Their bright flames were just faint, dancing sparks in the oppressive gloom. In the heart of the metropolis, the iconic lights of Piccadilly Circus were swallowed by a thick, brownish-black haze, reduced to a dim, indecipherable glow. Cars were simply abandoned where they stopped, left in the middle of the street like modern-day fossils, their owners having given up, choosing to feel their way home on foot along the cold, unfeeling walls of buildings. The strangeness of the event was not confined to the outdoors. The smog was so dense and its particles so fine that it seeped through every crack and keyhole, invading homes, hospitals, and public spaces. It crept under doorways and through window frames, bringing the cold and the stench inside. Movie theaters, usually a refuge from the world's troubles, were forced to close their doors. It wasn't because of the smell or the chill, but because the fog had thickened inside the auditoriums to such a degree that the beam of light from the projector was lost in the murk, and the audience sitting just yards away could no longer see the moving images on the screen. In the immediate aftermath, as the fog finally lifted on the 9th of December, the government downplayed the severity of the crisis, claiming only a few hundred had perished from the event. But the truth, which would take decades to fully surface, was far more grim. Modern estimates conclude that the Great Smog of 1952 was directly responsible for the deaths of as many as 12,000 people, with tens of thousands more suffering from severe respiratory illnesses. This shocking revelation was a turning point, a moment of reckoning that led directly to the passage of the Clean Air Act of 1956. It was the moment a modern society collectively decided that the very air we breathe is not a commodity, but a fundamental human right. Now, look up. On a clear night, the sky above London is no longer a blanket of black, but a canvas of distant light. The quiet hum of the city continues below, but the air is clean, and the stars, once hidden, have returned. That week of profound darkness, a city's near-fatal mistake, ultimately led to a brighter future. A world where we can once again see the stars and breathe.